We have to always stay open to see what the universe, our soul, our guides are guiding us to do in the moment. There's always something available for us. We just have to keep our eyes open to it. This comes in little teeny everyday moments and disturbances where rejection is redirection and disappointments turn into something that we can turn into an amazing potential or possibility. As my guides say, turning garbage into gold mines. And they come in bigger ways too. And so one of the great examples of this that I see is like little everyday things, because I think the little everyday things are almost like those glimmers, and that's what keeps us going over time. Like earlier today, I was frustrated. I've been sick on and off since the beginning of December. I was like, I'm sick again. We're at the end of like the potential TikTok ban is coming, and like I'm going to lose my whole community here. But at the same time, I was like, well, where are the opportunities? And what's been happening? And it started to make me realize like, well, I've been expanding to other platforms, and that's a good thing. So that's meeting a whole bunch of new people. It made me realize this is keeping me creative and flexible. It also put a whole bunch of us on Red Note, which I think is really important for our spiritual awakening and creative expansion, because and just awareness, because a whole bunch of people at once are shifting their belief system about an entire another culture and country, which is such a beautiful gift. And it was like my brain started to go into this ricochet of all these positive things that have been happening in the midst of us thinking something else bad is happening. So I'm not saying the TikTok ban is good, but more so that we can see the glimmers and hold the complexity of there being something disappointing, but then something good coming out of the disappointing. It's kind of like the flower that's growing out of the cracks in the boulder. It's one of my favorite things that I see when I'm hiking, and it's like, it'll be like a giant boulder or a bunch of rocks or something like that, and then there's one little flower growing out from a crack, and it just reminds me that like the beautiful things find a way in every single moment at any time. The more we notice things like this, the more resilient we are. And it's not just resiliency, it makes life a little bit more fun. It's like our creative brain stays on a little bit more often. We start to feel our intuitions. We start to feel excited. We start to feel more enthusiasm. We start to feel more inspired and more ignited, more alive. So that can be something that can really help you with your not just intuitive development, but spiritual development as well. It kind of reminds us that like everything is connected, and life is an ever-flowing, seamless, one large event that's broken down into so many little tiny moments. And in any moment, we are really consciously choosing how we're getting to see it. I also pulled a couple of cards. First was lacking. This is the perception we have. We're stuck. We have nowhere to go. If we try to wriggle free, we're going to get hurt, right? But this card leads into this card, aligned. So we have to look for the opportunity in the moment. This is the present moment. We have to see where the opportunity is, and we have to flow with our internal alignment, okay? Lastly, inspiring. You're going to find your alignment in the inspiration, because we have to remember that sometimes when pressure is applied is when we find our bursts of creativity and our problem-solving ability comes out. Also, just a reminder that you can find me at the link in my bio. It's a Linktree link. It has a link to literally every platform that I am on except for Blue Sky, which you can find as well. So do not worry. I'm around on a couple of different platforms. I have 2 different YouTube accounts. I have my same Spirit Speaker handle everywhere, so you'll be able to find me wherever you go. There's also links to my website and links to the Patreon membership group. It's the one group I have. I've been talking about it over and over so that everyone can come and play in there. And there is a free tier as well as paid tiers. So just so you know, it's not all paid membership. There's a lot of good content and discussions in there, as well as behind the scenes updates and lessons to help you develop your channeling ability.